with the commish, Adam G.
It's been
Orley.
like 3 weeks since the last podcast, but the last one was in week 12. It's been a wild couple of weeks in the league.
It really has. We were aiming to do another one in week 17, but for one reason or another, mostly flag, we we got distracted. And my God, haven't we missed stuff?
We have.
It's all pretty par for the course.
It is not. Last time we went off air, James Earls was a contender.
Well, that's a stretch.
Like,
For anybody that's not watching
he's
us
counting his
online,
Pro Bowlers.
Dial's doing his inverted commas, right? It's a stretch to say he was
I
a
was not
contender.
doing inverted commas. I was in my head, but I wasn't actually doing them.
So Niall was in the wildcard round. He gubbed a CPU team 35-6/35-7. John stuck 50 plus on a CPU team.
60.
Adam beat Carolina. Yeah. So largely it's par for the course. However, there have been a couple of things that I was like, whoa.
The Saints have
also par
fired
for
their
the course.
special teams coordinator since then.
Niall beat
have.
James Earls in a competitive Madden game. That's normal, actually.
Yeah, that's every time they play.
Yeah.
The good thing is James Earls has a chance of avoiding them next year by making the playoffs. That's usually a good way to hide from now. Make him play somebody else
They
in
will play
wildcard
next
again.
year.
As the division winners.
Ooh. So we will get a rematch.
We'll also get Niall versus Adam again. We'll have to build that up the same way that
Stoops might get another one,
Stoops might go 10-5-1 and win another division with a second place schedule.
which would be pretty impressive.
He gets Zach. Looking forward to that. Looking
He
forward
could
to
get
that.
Zach and James Earls as well if they play the East.
If they play the East. No, I think they play the South. Adam had worked this out. I think they play the South.
That would be good.
I played the East this year and the North last year, so I play the West next year.
Happy days.
So we get a Stoops Adam rematch, and Stoops will play Zach as well.
No,
Which is
Stoops
good.
came third in this division
He ended up third.
Oh, so he'll avoid
Yeah.
Zach, and he'll play.
because he didn't have head-to-head on the Hawks.
He'll
Not
avoid,
so bold
he will
prediction.
avoid
Stoops
Zach,
to win the West
and
next
he
year.
will avoid the Panthers as well.
He won't avoid the Panthers
Yeah,
because
he-
sure, what do you call it? He
Oh,
plays the South.
sorry, yeah. he
Yeah,
will.
you know what I mean.
No, yeah, with you now.
He lost his division on head-to-head. There's 3 teams on 8-8.
He
Do we know which AFC division he plays?
Oh, I figured it
not
out.
not the AFC South. I think it's the East.
NFC North plays the East. I play the North, and I think played the West this year, so they play the South, which means the West.
Did you say the AFC West plays the South? Because I need to see James Cameron versus Adam, not on a Pro Bowl.
No, I play the AFC North.
The NFC West plays the AFC South. So we get John versus...
Yeah.
Well,
We get John versus Niall. Well, it depends on what happens in the bowl.
depends on where John's coaching.
No, right, hold on. The NFC North plays the AFC East for definite. The NFC South plays the AFC North. The NFC East plays the AFC South. So you'll get John
You'll
versus
get
James
John and Zach. John v Zach would be so
That
interesting.
will be a good game, actually. And
Which
then we get
leaves Stoops
versus...
to play James Cameron and Nick.
Stoops Nick is going to be wholesome for my eyes.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see this.
Stoops will be up by 50 and then throw so many picks that he wins like 53-50.
Yes, other playoff stuff that we haven't been able to commentate on because we haven't done a podcast since. James Cameron went to the playoffs as a rookie coach. He won a divisional game. He won a
And
conference
won
game.
the AFC title game with
And
3
then
minutes
lost
to go.
it.
Yeah, that was
He won
Oh,
it
what a
28-29.
the Darrell Bevel Award for nearly.
Getting to the goal line and then shiting your patents.
For all you had to do was hand the fucking ball off.
I was watching it, I seen him pick counter, and then John moved his safety to the left. And I was like, this counter is going to go for at least 20 yards.
Considering
Then he
everybody and their
auto-allows.
dog knows that a counter is a good play to run against John, particularly when you have the lead and John has no time left.
And then John did his classic linebacker look.
And in his classic, it's the fourth quarter now, I have to try and go down the field.
And the second he scored, I knew he was going for 2. Like, it was.
I actually had this discussion with him when I got he was like, oh, did you know I was going for 2? I was like, I actually said to Daniel he was going for 2 when he was 28-14 down. I says, I guarantee you James goes really defensive, doesn't score a point, and there's no way John's taking this to overtime because he doesn't care enough on defense. He's gonna take the shot when he gets down there, and lo and behold, Right.
And
Anything else playoff wise? I mean, I kind of feel for Carolina, who got a load of votes. I am hearing across the league for CPU Team of the Year, who went to the divisional round and kicked a field goal against Adam.
yeah, they had a rough one.
Kudos to the
But
Niners, though. The Niners went one and done in the
For
playoffs,
being
but
the least shit team in the West.
they've never
Which,
reached the playoffs or won their division
at
until
least
now.
the joint
So
least shit team in the West.
that's why you don't send any teams to the playoffs. Historically terrible.
The NFC East this year in real life.
Yeah.
If they,
You'd be looking at 8 wins as a
if
division in
they
real
get
life.
an 8-win team. Well, luckily we all have to play each other and a tie counts as half. So
Yeah, you can stack ties.
somebody will get 6 wins and 2 ties and get in. Probably Philly.
So the 2 title games, let's discuss those because I think they are the most exciting title games we've had in ages. The
I
NFC.
do have a quiz for you, by the way.
Oh goody.
And it's directly for you two because you two are like the two sort of not historians of the league, but like the two tenured guys of bowl wins.
we're
and
back in
success.
lockdown already. Let's go table quizzes.
It's not only just a quiz; it is largely opinion based, so it's more a questionnaire of who you believe to be the answer.
Brilliant.
And some of them are going to cause
no.
people to be very unhappy, and I can't wait. James Cameron is wondering
dear.
what our PayPals are to get us to stop talking about the AFC title game, and I've been out of work a while, so I'm going to give him mine. But I'm not going to stop talking about it, but I'm going to send him a PayPal just in more to hope than anything. But
You never
yes,
know.
let's talk title games.
Yes, lads.
Adam swallowing
So-
the bitter pill that is this topic.
So I went and watched the NFC game again from like as a horror film, like from behind my sofa, and it was the biggest game of 2 halves I watched until I watched the AFC game. It was like in the first half, the Saints were absolutely everywhere. The first quarter, the Bears ran 4 plays on offense. One of them was an interception, and one of them was a touchdown. And if he does that against John has 30 points at the end of the first.
Do you want to hear a controversial statement that is going to... I mean, we do this podcast to be controversial, and I'm going to stick my foot in it in this, and I want everybody to come and attack me. I am ready. My body is ready for the insults. My opinion of the title games is really simple. I love both the title games for different reasons. There is only one of the 4 teams that I truly believe deserve to go to a Super Bowl. 3 of them I thought were kind of shambolic. I liked Denver. I thought Denver was the one that deserved to go the most. The Saints didn't deserve to go because of the punting thing. Now, obviously, that wasn't their fault, but they couldn't move the ball, and it affected
In
their
all
offense.
honesty, going back, I only lost 10 points on that, and I gave up 31.
That's my other flip point. Daniel, if you don't mind me paraphrasing
For
you a
me,
wee bit here.
the punting's not the worst thing. For me, it was the kickoffs out of bounds to start each drive. I think that probably that was much worse. I thought that was
Niall
awful.
got the ball inside the Saints half, to start a drive in the Saints half multiple times. Daniel literally said to me after
every
that game...
drive bar the last one, I think.
Daniel literally said to me as that game went final, if I got the ball inside the Saints half that many times and beat Adam by 4, I think I would kill myself. So the Bears got 31 gift. A lot of those were gift
I
wrapped
did
points.
say that. Yes.
So they have no offense. The Saints' defense outscored its offense in a lot of ways, or at least outgained it, I believe.
Yeah, my defense was like I couldn't have asked that anymore. They made a 4-play stop on the 1 yard line. I think there was 3 different last ditch tackles on the one.
Now, to flip that, you
Just
got
couldn't ask
Houston.
much more. Like.
The Texans scored 29 points, and I don't really remember any points they scored before the 2-minute warning. Somehow they just exploded a load of points after the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter. Before that, all Houston did was run around, get sacked, and throw picks. I honest to God think Denver was the best of the 4 teams in title weekend by a clear distance.
Can I do my question?
The thing that I really liked about Denver's was that it showed that James has a different style in PvP, because if he was playing CPU, there was a play, it was like 3rd and 12 in the 4th where he dropped back, and if it's a CPU he just keeps dropping back and takes the sack, but he went through his reads and then scrambled for the first down. I thought that was a super play.
Is this the
for a
3rd
rookie.
and 10 towards the end of the game?
Yeah.
I know
fantastic.
it was big boy stuff. It was a veteran move. I liked it.
But he doesn't do that in a CPU
No, against
game.
CPU,
He
no,
takes a
100%.
25-yard sack there.
to extend your point, I love quoting Daniel. If anybody listening to the podcast has never watched a full,
I am very quotable.
if anybody's never watched a full NFL game with Daniel, you're missing out. It's insightful as hell, and usually you're crying with laughter by the end of it as well. But
it's usually very unhappy.
Just as long as it's not a Dallas game. Any other game, he's really really good.
Dallas
game's usually over by the end of the first quarter, and he's like, right, this is why we need to lose Dak.
I don't even really enjoy Dallas games anymore. I miss Tony Romo massively.
But I only watched like a quarter and a half of the. Well, I watched the full game, but Daniel was only awake for about a quarter and a half of the Chiefs game last night, and my God, he just sees things that others don't see. It's really really fun to watch. But he made a comment
on pace for 7,000 yards this year.
It's nuts, isn't it?
It's nuts. The money he's on pace for that worries me, Adam.
Like he's obviously he won't get that because like Daniel says, you get a game around Thanksgiving where you throw 67 pass yards. But I do think he'll eclipse 5,000. I think
usually on Thanksgiving if you're us and you still stick past the Lions.
He's gonna what he call it. He'll join the 5K club this year.
67 pass yards and one screen pass touchdown to Zeke.
Daniel made a comment during the AFC title game that was really poignant about that Denver offense. He's like, I can't. But I'm saying that Daniel said it. I agree with him. Like, not just throwing Daniel under the bus for any negative things. He says I love this Denver offense. He says it's amazing. When he picks a play, obviously they're all geared around Fant, but you can see James going through reads, and each play that he's got, he has like 3 things he likes about it. It's not, I'm picking it because I like this.
As a connoisseur of someone who likes 3 plays.
Like there's only what he called though. Like Daniel himself says that he has like 3 plays he likes.
There's nothing I hate more than seeing somebody who picks a play with one route in mind, and when that route's not on, fuck. I don't mind picking plays based on
the Cardinals of 2022.
Yes, but the play's usually a pick for the Cardinals.
But the only offense that I think comes close to it in CFM is the Saints, and Adams had that playbook and most of those players for multiple years. This is James's first year. I don't want to scare anybody in the league, but that offense that James put out is really good, and I believe that's what Zach's is going to look like about 12 games from now.
I hope so.
Right?
Yeah,
look at the difference between Zach from week 3 this year to week 16. Mid-season next year with Zach, I can't wait to see when things start to click and come together.
Especially with the quarterback.
Right?
Who will remain unnamed because I'm not having that controversy.
Daniel, I believe you have a questionnaire for 2 of the most decorated CFM players of all time.
5 questions.
5 questions.
Okay.
That's less.
I might add to it while you're talking because just because.
We grin in his face is unreal. Adam.
Okay, so
this is gonna be long.
Question 1. Not including CPU teams.
Adam, you can answer first.
So not including the Rams that you played and the Ravens that Adam played in the Bulls.
Okay.
Because they're CPU teams, and we didn't look into their seasons while it was happening enough. Dance with.
And they don't count as Bulls anyway.
Obviously. Why is this child talking? What a nonce! I can't believe he actually said that. Like,
it's not even media week yet. This is brilliant.
Who is the least deserving Super Bowl team ever?
In CFM?
Oh.
Least deserving team to make a bowl.
And you can't say the Rams or the Ravens?
No, it can't be a CPU team because we don't know we don't know if all of their games could have been 1-point thrillers during the regular season. We don't know how deserving they were, if you know what I
mean. Can we include the teams from this year? Is that what you're angling for?
I'm not angling for any team.
The grin in your face says otherwise.
You can include the teams from this year if you want.
Well, I mean, if you go by record, the only 2 wildcard teams to ever make the bowl are this year's Bears and year 1's Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
But, both of them had a playoff run that deserved it. In different ways.
See, that's the thing. I think that... This is the argument. I think John's Seahawks really didn't deserve it because they fluked the wild card 7-6 and they got James Earls, which is like a second bye, but then he murdered you in the NFC title game.
Yeah,
then I look at Niall, who got a bye against Tampa, a bye against James Earls. He thrashed Tampa and he beat James Earls, who he always beats, but he played really well in that game, and then he sort of got a bye against you with circumstances.
Although the NFC title game doesn't really teach Niall anything about beating John, because John's not going to come out with a fucking punter anyway. So it doesn't really... Like, you'll be starting at 35 against John because you've sacked him on 4th and 21.
Right, Adam, because I said you could answer first. I'm going to push you for an answer because I'm struggling with this.
One of my Saints in the first 3 years, because I didn't play... Probably year 3, because I didn't play a single PvP game until the bowl.
Was that Eldridge?
I'm on 13-3.
That was Devin Eldridge.
Eldridge, that's what you call him.
So I would probably say them, just because of the schedule.
I'm gonna draw lots of ire for this. I think the team that actually deserved to be in a Super Bowl the least was the Seattle Seahawks, because I think that their playoff run was tragic. The Super Bowl against me. If
Their head coach was drunk for the wild card
if
game.
one of these questions is who's the best
That
team,
showed.
Yeah.
if one of these questions is who's the best team you ever played in a bowl, the Seahawks are tied favorites with another team. That hopefully that is a question.
That's not one of the questions.
Okay,
But
well
it can
then
be.
I gotta answer that
Well,
right
that's
now.
an
Then
answer.
Adam in year one and Seattle are the
Yeah.
two closest times I've ever felt like I was in a fucking NFL sideline. It was unreal. But the Seahawks playoff run and arguably their regular season, don't forget they were 11-5, and most of it was just him hoping Wilson didn't fumble.
Okay, so the next one's a yes or no question,
Okay.
Okay.
but it does require a little bit of discussion.
Oh, good.
The
Otherwise
best
it'll
kind of
just
yes
be-
or no.
You're right.
Otherwise, it would just be a flat, yeah. And that sort of doesn't really help me. Does James Earls have no bottle? He is a regular season magician, X Factors and without X Factors. 13 wins, 13 wins. But then he gets to play a player team / Nile. and
No
he
other team
fucking
in
shites
CFM
it.
history has gone back to back. Like, don't forget James missed the season in between, but his last two seasons, you know, if you know what I mean, he was the Vikings in Dallas. No other team in CFM history has gone 13-3 back to back years and had 0 playoff wins to show for it.
If I've won 26 regular season games and not made a title game, I'm throwing myself off a bridge.
So,
Like,
what I will say about James is that he went 5-1 PvP this season. He just has a hang up on Niall. I think if he played me or Stoops made the playoffs, he probably beats.
Oh,
he has
that's
a
why I
good
thought
shot against me. I
If he
think.
got to the title game, he could have beat you, because what kills James Earls against Niall is that James plays football, and that's never been conducive to beating Niall. Which is why I have that disparity in my record. I'm undefeated against Niall in postseason because I play him like he's Niall, but in the regular season I play football and I'm 2-2 against him all the time. Because that's not how you beat him, and James doesn't have that second play style yet.
Yeah, I don't think it's a ball. I think it's a Niall problem. If he avoids Niall, if Niall's the 4 seed, he probably makes the title game.
James Earls beat Zach and James Cameron this year. I'm gonna stick with Adam in this one and not play devil's avocado. I think that James Earls does have bottle because he has won big games. He beat John in the regular season a couple of years ago. He's won. He just can't. He can never ever beat.
he
Niall.
beat John's Falcons team. I beat
And you
John's.
can't take the week 17 game into account because
No,
True.
I'm not. No, not at all. No, it's tragic. Yeah.
So, across the board, he has a bottle.
Yes, I would say he has
I think
bottle, and
so,
so does
yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 3. Who's the worst player ever to win MVP?
I can get I'm gonna get the full list. You mean league MVP?
Yeah.
This is really simple for me.
worst like
So it's
player,
Brady,
is it-
Brady, Bortles, Fournette, Dalton, Wilson, Dalton. So there's only 5 players that have actually ever won it.
Yeah. Who's the least deserving?
Watson this year, by the way. The Madden MVP.
Oh, the Madden one. Okay, the least deserving one I'm gonna give is a tie between 2 people.
Bortles.
They're both quarterbacks.
If you look at Bortles' season, Breeze was better in every stat.
The least, okay, I think it's a closely a tie. Arguably the number one that least deserves it is Blake Bortles.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't overly think Andy Dalton deserved it the second time around.
I think
And that might be because he was so good the first, like the
Andy
second
Dalton-
time Andy Dalton is so
for
much
me,
inferior
Andy Dalton
to first
deserved it a
Andy
lot
Dalton.
more the second time around than Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson only had like 25 passing touchdowns. It was all his rushing
Russell
touchdowns.
Wilson just comes down to what he called. Do you think Lamar Jackson deserved MVP last year? No, then you don't think Russell Wilson
Yeah.
deserved it. Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
say Blake
Madden
Bortles is the number
Bortles.
one though.
Russian TDs.
So Blake Bortles is
Yeah,
our...
Because I'm not going back to show you
it's
now.
auto-corrected as Blake Bottled. Oh.
I'm not, what do you call it though? I'm not going back to show you the
Sorry,
stats.
Blake.
If you want me to put the stats
Yeah,
up later,
of
Drew
course
Brees.
he's watching. He's sitting at home. Right, he's sitting in Denver right now, reading a 2-page playbook.
Breeze is arguably miles better than him in every statistical category, and outplayed him in the bowl as well. Like that's the least deserving one. The most deserving one is Leonard Fournette,
that's
who was better than
shock.
Barkley. Leonard Fournette
Yeah,
was
Fournette was
unreal.
amazing that year.
Question 4: will
Unstoppable.
James Cameron make a bowl, or will he wear this as a black spot on his hand for the rest of his life?
I have a simple answer for this. I'll let him go
Within
first.
the next 3 years, actually, because he could play this for 20 years and make a bowl year 20. Be like, told you.
Okay,
Like, I mean,
next
not really.
next 3 to 5 seasons.
Mike Zimmer's gonna make a bowl eventually.
No, I don't think so.
I think
No,
he has an Aaron Rodgers level chip on his shoulder and will come back like a man possessed. Plus, this is his first time at free agency and his first actual draft.
Yeah, it's not
So
his team yet.
I
Yeah,
think Denver are going to make a leap next year.
I think they
I
will
know, I
be
know
in a Super
they
Bowl in the next 3
overachieved this
seasons.
year,
They will
but
100%.
maybe not next year. I think the year after he makes the bowl.
So within the
Anybody
next
that
3
plays
years,
John that tough will absolutely scoop out James Earls, Niall, Stoops, and
So,
probably Zach.
you both think that he's making a bowl within the next 3 seasons.
I'll be
correct?
amazed if he does make a Super Bowl in the next 3 seasons. Whether I don't care if John stays in the AFC or not as well. I really don't.
Okay, so question 5. It was going to be the last question, but I'm bored, so it's not going to be.
Happy days.
If Niall was Texans coach,
This season,
yeah,
right?
and John was Bears coach, who's the Super Bowl?
The Bears, the team coached by John.
Okay, so you think John gets past Adam?
So can John take the Chicago Bears through the run that he did? Right.
And the regular season. So just is it a Bears Texans bowl if the coach is the other way around?
No.
I can't imagine a team less suited to John's playstyle than the Bears.
Plus, yeah, you've got to take into account John would either be running about with Mitch Trubisky or probably, despite Niall, Justin Herbert.
Okay, so here's my really simple case on it, right? One, if Niall is in charge of the Texans, quick discussion, James Cameron's in the bowl.
Okay.
There is no way that Niall keeps up with an offensive coach like
You think
that.
it is a Broncos versus who?
I'm going to say Broncos versus Bears because if Niall can get the Bears to the Super Bowl, pretty much most other coaches in that league can as well. Are you telling me? No, this isn't a dig. So he's got. What is John going to do? Is he going to go 10-6? He literally did that. He did better than that with
Can I
Atlanta.
just say,
What?
John wouldn't have been playing in the wild card.
No. He has to because he's going through the same path.
No,
right?
he's going through the same season. John would have been Bears coach from week 1.
Would John's Bears have beaten a CPU?
Would John's Bears have been 10-6?
No. Would John's Bears have beaten a wildcard team that's a CPU team? Yes.
Who was the 2 seed in the NFC this year?
What?
James
Earls.
Earls. Would John have lost 3 games in the regular season with the Bears?
Yes, probably because
Show me the regular season. So John's player games would have been against Zach and Stoops.
right. We have
Stoops, who he beat with his current team. So there, even if he does lose the Zach game, like now,
I'm telling you
won
that
regular
James
season,
Earls would be the 2 seed even if John was with the Bears. Reason being, don't forget, James is a 15-1 team. James shut a lot of those players down towards the end of the stretch.
that is true.
Plus, the Bears are not great for John's play style. I'm happy with James Earls being the 2 seed,
Okay.
even if John was there.
So John would have been the 3 seed.
Right, so does John
If
scoop a
John's
wildcard
pressuring
team?
Nick Foles doesn't see the field.
Exactly. So
True, actually, yeah. I forgot about that. That's a
would
good
John's
point.
Bears have beaten a CPU team in the wildcard? Of course. Would John have beaten James Earls in the divisional round? He literally has with a worse team. And the NFC title, would he have beaten Adam if he started every drive at Adam's 30? Yes. it's literally
So it's Bears Broncos.
Bears Broncos. It would be 100%.
What about you, Adam? Bears Broncos?
I'd agree. Yeah, I think John would hate playing in Chicago just because he would hate with Mitchell. He would absolutely despise it.
But he doesn't have to play Mitchell. He could play Justin Herbert.
Okay,
Who's
so
even slower.
here's a question. You're going to need to go back to the regular season. stands
Well,
for me.
you were saying about this, Adam, earlier. You didn't see him with the Falcons when he had Matt Ryan, who was literally like wading through treacle. He can win games that way.
The Houston Texans went 15-1. So we're saying the Bears go what, like 12-4, 11-5 with John?
The Bears, let's see, the Bears probably lose the Seahawks game that Niall lost. They definitely don't lose to Green Bay. John wins every game in his division. It beats Stoops. I'd say the Bears are probably 12-4 with John, give or take.
What happens to the Texans? Who are 15?
Easy 10-6 in a divisional round exit. We've been there before.
To who though? To James Cameron?
James Cameron, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't think he even makes the title game?
The Jags would be the 1 seed
Oh fuck! I forgot the Jags
Yeah,
were really
the-
good.
because it doesn't matter what Niall does with Houston. The Jags are like 12-4.
Show me the standings from the.
If you go to the standings, the Jags are 10-4-1. No,
Two of those losses were against
No,
John.
they were 11-4-1.
So they would have been 13.
Yes,
No,
and they would have.
10-5-1.
Okay, so they're 10-5-1. Right, well then they would have been 12-3-1 because they get the 2 wins against Niall.
Say they split the series.
He had
11-4.
Pierce Burst,
Yeah,
Pierce
true.
Burst,
If they split the series, Niall needs to win 11 games.
which he didn't do with Chicago, who are probably better suited to him.
By the way, Niall was the only above 500 team in his division. That is disgusting.
Yeah, it's a bad division.
There were no above 500 teams in the West.
Oh.
There are 5 teams above 500 in the entire NFC, and 3 of them are from the South.
Christ, the Chargers finished.
Christ, I've just noticed there's no, apart from James Earls and Niall, yeah, nobody's above 500 in those divisions.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
The Tennessee Titans finished 7-8-1, and they would have finished second in the North. That is, in fact, the Indianapolis Colts, who went 7-9, would have also finished second.
Yeah, so you're telling me Niall goes into an NFC South that's competitive? We've seen that a few years ago. Hang on. Where are we?
That's fucking dreadful.
Yeah, the last time Niall was in an AFC South, it was that.
It really is. That's a terrible
There, that's the last time Niall was in an AFC South that was that competitive.
Can you imagine winning 10 games and be like, who's your runner-up? They won 6 games.
Yeah.
Sorry? Like, I mean...
So I think it's James Cameron's Broncos versus John's Bears. It's just as well it's not that, because
I was going to say...
imagine James bottling a Super Bowl the way he bottled the AFC title game.
Now looking at the Bears season, I've realised that, of course, Niall has made the Super Bowl. His players haven't had to play because they've been playing in the Pac-12 all year. That is fucking ridiculous.
Don't be stupid, Niall. It's not the Pac-12. It's probably the AAC.
The crazy thing about that is that up until week 16, that division was in the balance.
Yes, that's another reason why everybody's like, Daniel says, would John have done better than Niall? Yes, Niall was in a division with literally 3 Mountain West conference teams, and it took him to like week 14 to win it. And he lost to one of them.
Yeah, the bad start like crippled his season, really.
But that's
like
what Niall does, and this is a good thing with Niall. Yes, he was like 1-3 at some point, but he always rallies up in the second half of the season.
Yeah, he's...
Apart from that 1 year.
The Fletcher Cox trade absolutely turned Chicago around.
Oh, that's like a question. Not even that Daniel wants to... Daniel asked me this earlier. I asked Daniel this earlier on because I was curious. I was like, who's the weakest team to reach and possibly win a Super Bowl? Is it Niall's Bears or is it my Raiders? And Daniel's convinced it's the Raiders because he has Fletcher Cox and Khalil Mack, and we didn't have one defender half as good as either of them in the Raiders team.
I was actually thinking your Raiders team for worst Super Bowl teams, just because they were grim.
And not even worse to what do you call it? Worse to win one, worse to appear at one, probably. Like it was.
It was a bad roster.
Don't forget that we didn't. Josh Jacobs didn't even suit up.
Oh, and that's another one as well.
And Jalen Richard still busted a big one to win it. Anyway, that's me done reminiscing that. But that is a weak ass team. I think the Bears have more talent. They really do.
Super Bowl predictions.
Well, I can't really turn around and tell you I think the Bears are going to win after the last 5 minutes of what I've said.
How are we feeling for Sunday?
Well, to start, if the Bears play like they did in the first half against the Saints, they're going to get absolutely smoked. If they play like they did in the second half, it'll be competitive. But I think John is just too quick to score.
My worry is, like, you've seen it against the Broncos, and I'm paraphrasing Adam here, correct me if I'm wrong. The Texans can easily just sit in neutral and let the opposition score points, because when they get to the fourth, John knows he can hit the nitros button and score 3 touchdowns.
He does play it like it's Crash
Unfortunately, it is like watching Crash Bandicoot.
Team racing, watching John play.
If the Texans, if John's Texans allow Niall 3 quarters to score, Niall will total like 10 points. That's my issue. That Niall doesn't have the offense to box with him.
Everybody or everybody else, pretty much everybody's listening to this. If everybody can send me 2 to 3 questions for the debate,
for Media Week,
so that I can ask them, preferably questions that are targeted at, like a question for John about the Bears, that sort of thing.
Okay.
If everybody can send me a couple of questions, I will ask the best ones.
My worry is that Niall will buy into NFL hype, like the game last night, Chiefs Patriots, and Niall's idea will be like, all we've got to do is keep Deshaun Watson off the field. I will hand it off to running back 12 or whoever the hell he employs now, and try and eat clock in the first quarter. John will score 20 points in the fourth quarter, give or take, no matter what you do in the first 3. So that's not going to work.
Yeah, the 2 keys for the Bears is Fletcher Cox has to have a big day.
Yes.
And whichever linebacker he has spying Watson has to be on top of him. Like, he cannot let him escape the pocket.
Go and watch Niall.
For me,
watch the Denver
Bears
game.
the Bears need 3.
Watson can be sacked.
The Bears need 3 plus.
Yeah, he can be. But if
Fletcher Cox can win the People's L Trophy, that's the key.
But if Niall plays and double covers Hopkins or double covers Will Fuller, then he gets absolutely shredded by everything underneath.
Can you imagine after that NFC title game if he turns up and double covers Will Fuller? Niall, basically, long story short, you can't come into this Super Bowl after getting beat 50-6 and be like, well, Fuller had no catches. That shit's not gonna fly.
Yeah, as Billy Bean once said, if you don't win the last game of the season, who gives a shit? No one cares about a great season if it doesn't lead to anything. You know.
That being said, you've got to pay some attention to that post that John will throw, whether it's on or not.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it completely go into it like John's just a brand new guy in the league. And
If you get a
completely
chance now,
disregard
I would
him,
watch.
but
The best prep you can do is to watch the AFC title
See,
game
you're saying-
and watch the Super Bowl against Seattle, because that's the game plan.
you're
It's the
saying
same
you've got to take
playbook.
away that post. But why are you taking away that post? To win the game. You're not taking away that post so you can say, John didn't complete a post, but he smoked me by 40 points. No, it's a means to an end. Taking away the post to win the game and win the Super
He
Bowl.
missed that post against James Cameron, and he missed that post against my Raiders, and it put him in a hole like at times. Not been able to hit
I
that
think
deep
it was
shot.
what, a minute left in the third before he completed.
Yeah, there was 1 minute 50 to go in the third before John completed his first pass, and he scored 29 points. Niall does not have the offense to box with that team.
Yeah, if the Bears are to win 21-17 or 24-21, if it goes above 30 points, I just don't see them hanging. I know they hung 31 on me, but there were circumstances. We'll talk about it.
Yes, like Niall says, John's unlikely to give him great field position punting because John's unlikely to punt.
My dream scenario for the bowl is Trubisky goes down, Herbert wins the bowl.
If Herbert wins the bowl, Niall has to get a Herbert tattoo.
And
It's
then-
not even funny.
We-
spent the next month jerking myself off.
You have to then let him walk over to New York with the trophy, being like, "Thanks, coach."
As long as Herbert doesn't, what do you call it? As long as Herbert doesn't line up at running back, he's unlikely to get hurt.
Well, yeah. Oh, if Herbert gets injured, Zach will actually just commit.
Well, I didn't carry, so
Nah, it shouldn't carry over. Yeah.
I'm excited for the bowl. To be really honest, I'm going to start a petition as well for Adam to retire from the Saints and just become a staple on the podcast. To be really honest, things are much better this way. It's great crack, and then we can let, as John would call them, the children fight it out each week. But yeah, I'm really excited for the bowl. Actually, I'm really looking forward to it.
I different this time for John too because he was the def and the your favorite, and that plays into Niall's hands too because he might not admit it, but I'm sure he's thinking nobody's really giving me a shot here.
If he wasn't thinking it before, he might listen to this
more
podcast and he
material.
knows no one's giving him a shot.
Niall was not
I
expecting
think
to be in the bowl. Like, let's
I
be
really,
honest.
I just,
I know we're losing you there a wee bit.
so out in the second half with like Andy Reid level halftime adjustments and completely changed the game. That Bears team needs to be there for all 4 quarters.
What really stings me, and what the big thing Niall needs to do to win this bowl is to come out of media week looking good, and I mean that because it's a confidence thing. He literally scored after like one play against you, one run play. He was 7-0 up, and if you go back and watch
the
it,
first
Niall's
play.
like, well, win, lose or draw, and it just sounds
one
so
quest-
bad.
if-
First of all, you can't draw an NFC title game. I know it's your first time there, but you can't draw.
If one question is answered, we'll just see how it goes. Then I know how it's going to go.
Because
And
John's
Bear-
going to be fucking whipping everything
and
out.
Bears
Yeah.
fans are not going to enjoy it. It's going to be a fucking annihilation.
I'm not asking Niall to come out and beat John, like Nega John, like, yeah, blood, fam, sauce. But you've got to you've just beat Adam, right? You've got to believe you can win this game. You don't have to come out, like I say, and rest your nuts on the table and be like, we're going to smoke the Texans. But at the minute, mate, I don't even believe you can beat Adam. And you did beat Adam. But watching the game back, listening to you, I don't think you can beat him.
There's got to be a real era of
He does take a
confidence.
confidence from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
There's got to be a bit of a... And again, as you're saying, yeah, it doesn't need to be like cockiness, but I do need to come out of the media week thinking that at least the Bears think the Bears are going to win.
Well, Niall should go into media week confident enough because what the hell's the difference here? John and Niall have both won division titles, both beaten Adam in a title game, and neither of them have ever won a Super Bowl. They are on an even keel, despite what John will tell you. Now, the PvP record is the big, but Niall, what are you, like 5-19? If you beat John in this Super Bowl, no one gives a fuck what your PvP record is.
He joins one of them is going to join the club with me and Andy Boyd. That's a good place to be.
Yeah, we've been playing this. What is this? Year 7, I think, and we've only had 3 Super Bowl
yeah.
winners. We've only had 3 bowl winners.
See, if
one
Ni-
of you is about to become elite.
If Niall loses, it's a loss. Niall loses, John wins. John wins the bowl. It's his second year trying to make the bowl.
Nobody thinks John doesn't deserve it.
Fair
He's
enough.
made 2 bowls. He's a great player.
Now,
Niall did well to get to the bowl.
if Niall wins, John has spent the last what feels like 3 or 4 lifetimes
and has quit the league to do so.
Oh, Adam made a load of bowls and didn't win them. This will be the second one that John's made and shut his pants in. And I don't think there's going to be any... See, this is the problem.
No, the first one he lost to me. See, if you lose a bowl to me or Adam, that's okay. If he loses this one, this isn't shutting your pants. This is going to be bad.
It's Mourinho syndrome.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the guy who's being a dickhead when he's the guy who's being a dickhead that's winning. See, when you're just the guy being the dickhead, no one wants to fucking hear it. No one likes the cocky loser. Remember John Carver took over Newcastle and
Yeah,
said,
I'm the best manager in the Premier
I
League.
genuinely
and
think
you
my best
Christmas.
manager in the league got fucking relegated and Shearer had to come in. Like, if you're just the cocky dickhead mouthing off because you've made a couple of title games, that's not a good look.
John is the only person ever, by the way, just working out wee things in my head, looking at the screen here. John's the only person ever to win an AFC title and an NFC title.
That's not a compliment. He has
Mostly because Adam and I have never played in the other conference.
Is
he
he
has-
the only person? Him and Niall are the only people to ever do it.
No, Niall's never won an AFC title.
Yeah, but they're the only people to have ever played in both.
Oh God, really?
yeah, true.
Yeah. They're the,
Jesus,
'cause
Niall's played in both and has only won divisions and won. Ugh.
James Earls has played his 2 teams, both in the NFC. I've only been the Saints.
You've played as 2 AFC.
I've been to
You were the
AFC.
Patriots and the Raiders.
Yeah, and John's been at 9 teams. And one of them happened to be in the... He's played as the entire NFC and now the Texans.
John has played in the same amount of divisions as he has not played in.
Jesus.
Fuck me.
Think about that for a wee second.
See, this is where the confidence thing comes in, though, and this is what John will bring up, is that John likes to throw wee random, deeply hurtful personal stats at people. Like, I mean, John looks at other
No,
players
the
around.
guy who picked Houston just to win a bowl with Niall's team before Niall did is hurtful? No way.
Like, I mean,
And
everybody
it's going to
can...
let JJ Watt walk.
Right into Chicago.
Do we think he goes to Chicago, or does Niall think he's going to get too much stick if he signs him?
He's in an impossible
By the way,
Situation, the
situation.
money.
both can be true.
Niall is smart enough to know that he shouldn't sign Watt, but probably will anyway.
Imagine if he doesn't even look at the depth chart and benches him for Mac. 18 million a year to be the backup DN that comes on for kickoff.
Just to come round for a barbecue every so
Yeah,
often.
it's just for free goal block. I would like to see JJ Watt in
I
Chicago.
like to see JJ Watt as a tight end in Chicago.
Well, anybody can do that. apart
Convert Burton to
from-
X.
I would love to see JJ Watt go to Chicago. After
Oh,
this
we
year.
had Burton can't write any rights. Oh, no way.
The problem is, if he goes to Chicago with a ring, will John ever stop holding it over him that you've just signed my scraps to know what a Super Bowl ring looks like?
This is John who has Zay Jones at receiver, a man who beat John in a bowl for a ring. John doesn't get to give up anybody for taking Super Bowl leftovers.
Yeah, but if you win one with them,
Zay Jones might be about to be a 2-time Super Bowl winner in CFM. What the actual?
I know we should probably start a brand new. I was gonna say do the next one on Madden 21, maybe do it in FIFA or something. It'd be easier. Stats like that bouncing around. But you look at some dick teams have.
I'm looking at what is the lowest points anyone's ever scored in a Super Bowl, because I don't think Niall's going to shoot for the stars points wise. It's got to be.
What did I score against the Jags? That was pretty low. Was it 12 or something?
Oh shit! I don't have that score.
It's on the video.
That game
on the video,
finished.
that's why I
That was
always
really
remember.
low scoring. I think it was like
was
16-12 or something.
I scored 17 when I beat the CPU.
Okay,
It's
so
probably the lowest.
quick question. For
I
you.
only
I
scored
scored
20.
more than that against the Ravens.
I only scored 21 against John as well. I don't tend to score a whole lot. I literally rely on my D, which is brilliant because neither of these teams can rely on their D, because John may as well super sim defense. He gives that little of a toss about it, and Niall hasn't had a good defense this year all year for some bizarre reason. It's literally his one thing he's really good at, and this year he's just been like, fuck it.
Quick question for you both. Chicago
Yes.
Bears, best case scenario, worst case scenario for the bowl. Go. Like,
Win.
obviously.
Win it. I was just about to,
Yeah, I was about to say,
gonna- I was
obviously
gonna be
not
that
win or
guy.
lose. Thank you, Adam.
Right, Chicago Bears best case scenario, worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Worst
you go
ca-
first then, Adam.
Worst case scenario, the game prompts him in the middle of the second quarter. Does he want to look for an opponent
Oh.
that's like that? Wait, it's happened to me. It's happened to me.
I can't think of anything that John would enjoy more.
That could happen. It could happen.
Yeah,
Best
that
case
was
scenario.
about as grim a franchise moment as there's been.
Yeah, no, it's pretty low. It's certainly in the top. It's like the bottom, rather bottom three moments. It was horrendous. Um, that's why everybody's like, oh,
Convincing win. Best
Adam
case
had
scenario.
Adam had those problems with the punt in the NFC title game. I'm like, yeah, but at no point did it ever suggest he played a game more suited to his skill level. Yeah, no, I'm definitely bottom three all time for that. Best case scenario for Chicago. Uh, First of all, Niall kicks the ball to John to start. Otherwise, we have to listen to Niall Gurn for a whole fucking quarter about how he didn't get the ball, which is like literally grow up.
You do get it eventually.
Yeah, you do. You do get it, and you do nothing with it. So the best
And
case
with
scenario.
the Texans, you get it quickly.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna get the ball back quick one way or another. Best case scenario: Fletcher Cox dominates the first drive. John runs about as much as he did against James Cameron, which was every single play for the first half. Doesn't get anywhere. Mack and Cox dominate the line of scrimmage. He has to roll out and throw. Niall's quite a handy user. Watson doesn't pick anything up with his legs. Texans are up 17-14 at halftime. Niall's hanging in there. It's close in the fourth. John has another Wilson moment that's beyond his control. Just a random fumble or a turnover or a blocked kick or some nonsense, and Niall wins by 3. Best case scenario.
Worst case scenario?
Oh, I already give you mine.
50 burgered.
Adam says 50 burgered. Fair. Best case scenario, Adam?
Uh, yeah, well, obviously a win, but
Oh, I do. Yeah, we both believe he can win.
holding John to less than 17 and winning. I think he'll take a lot of heart from that.
That's how I beat him, and you said it earlier in the podcast. If you don't hold him to like 17-20, it's gonna get out of hand quick, and
But it's
you
the
don't have
same
the
as
offense
I've
to
always
box.
said. I've always said in PvP with me, if you score 30 points, you should win. That's not the case versus John, because he just scores points so fucking quickly.
Literally about 21 of those 29 were scored, or was it 22 of the 29 were scored in the fourth quarter. It was a lot. Like
Yeah.
it was a sensational turnaround.
I left him 58 seconds, no timeouts, and he still scored.
Yeah,
You can't leave him 4 plays worth because he'll score on you.
and the
And
timeout
that's-
thing is irrelevant really as well in a lot of ways.
What's the number
Yeah,
that we feel that if John hits that many points, it's done?
24.
30.
I would be very much in between those two. Yeah, I think that's roughly around.
Because
Well,
Adam
4
hit 20,
touchdowns, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Adam hit 27 in the NFC title game, and if he can punt, he wins that game. Niall doesn't score 24
yeah.
plus in a PvP game. He's just done it twice back to back, like, but I'm telling you, he won't.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe that Bears was putting up 30 points.
The Bears will score somewhere between 10 and
I think Adams
21.
Adams probably nailed it there with 4 touchdowns. I think 4 touchdowns. Probably win this
John
game.
scores somewhere between 24 and 56.
The over-under is probably like 12. You would imagine.
The over under on what?
Line.
Bears
Points differential.
Oh, points differential.
Yeah.
Yeah, 11 and a half.
That's
something like
I
that.
would
Yeah.
I would put John at a heavy favourite, but
Oh,
I
of
think
course he is, yeah.
they'll definitely can win. Like
One of these teams is 17
I'd
and
take
1.
a punt on the
and
under.
one's spicy. One of these teams is 17 and 1 and hasn't lost a player game all year, and one's 13 and 6 and didn't win a player game in the regular season, and has won 2 player games in unique circumstances in the playoffs.
I'm very, very excited.
Doesn't
for
matter
this
how you win, though.
head-to-head debate.
No, but they're unique circumstances that he can't replicate in the Super Bowl. Like he
Yeah,
can't turn
true.
John into James Earls, and John won't punt badly
Won't
and
have
may not
that.
even punt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am very, very excited for what do you call it?
What's that?
The debate.
Oh, it should be brilliant. I'm just like,
Between the
John's been there before, and his debate the last time he went, he's been to a bowl, so he's been there before, and he's used to this hassle, and he plays loads of online head-to-heads, so he's used to being called a child and everything. And the last time he was there, you were the GM of my team, and you accused him of being a paedophile. That definitely threw him
No,
off.
I didn't.
Right.
I did not
Yes,
accuse him
that's
of being a paedophile.
right.
I simply asked him what was the age of the girl he kissed the cuckoo, and he couldn't remember if it was 17 or not.
Whereas Niall
Yeah.
hasn't been to a Super Bowl yet, so doesn't. I mean, well, he's been part of plenty of media weeks. He is not used
Is
to being
it just-
under the microscope
Is it
like
going
this.
to come down to which one doesn't get rattled?
Which one is isn't a nonce.
That's what it is.
They're both gonna get rattled.
It's nonce bowl.
Dan said this with John in the AFC title. I said that John would beat James by about 30. Even though if you're listening, James, I thought you were going to score about 25, 30 points, and I still thought you were going to lose by like 4 scores. But Daniel pointed out a really big thing with John, and it's everywhere apart from the NFC title game that he played against you, Adam. Basically, every other game that he's ever played against a player, it's really close. It's a 1-score game, and the reason is John has a game plan and he sticks to it, and it's pretty good usually. But then he takes that sack or he gets picked, and it's a really awkward quarter and a half for him. He doesn't tend to run away with player games. He'll win them, but he doesn't tend to run away with them.
If he plays like he played in that NFC title game, the game's over at halftime. That was the game of matches I've ever seen. He was fucking superb.
He won 32-12, and that is reasonably where I think this game's going to go.
A confident, comfortable...
A comfortable John puts 60 on him.
Yeah.
A comfortable 60 John puts 50 or 60 on Adam or I. When John's in a groove, he's unreal.
That's my worry.
I wouldn't bet on me or Adam to beat him when he's at his best. That starts at media week on Saturday night. It really does, and anybody who doesn't think that hasn't won a ball before. It is really important.
Well, the game is Sunday night, correct?
The game is supposedly Sunday at some point.
Sunday. Yeah.
We could do it at Sunday at 6 o'clock because the NFL will be fucking called
Yes,
off. Yes,
before 6, ideally.
We could do it at 9 o'clock when all their
beautiful.
games are moved to Tuesday.
Yeah, we would like it before Red Zone, if possible.
I hope Red Zone happens.
It will. It will this week.
Probably this week.
Yeah,
And that's it after that.
I worry quite a lot for the Bears if there's 17, say, if there's 17 points in it at any point, it's done. Even if it's 17.
Unless I think if the Bears are up 17, you could never discount.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
the
I think if the Texans are up 17 at any point, it's done. It's over.
Yeah.
I don't see how that Bears O. Now the Bears O could put 17 up, but
the Bears can put 24 up. It's just the fact that the Texans might score 50.
I don't think he puts 17 up unanswered.
I would say that I don't think there's a more intriguing matchup that you could put together, both in team quality and the relationship of the two coaches.
Well,
it's like a match made in
what do you
absolute
mean
hell.
by that?
The
Alan?
NFC coach hates the AFC coach and wishes he was out of the league, and the AFC coach simply thinks the NFC coach is a talentless nonce. So it is a pretty good matchup.
Like it's just if you'd pick two teams at the start of the season to play in the bowl, like we put them in a division together last year just for shits and gigs.
The same way that if you catch two bugs and you put them in a wee dish to see them fight.
Yeah.
I am trying to find the messages where Niall openly admitted he disliked John.
See, the problem is
like
if you search something in the chat, it will return too many results for you to sift through.
Yeah, if you look here very quickly, if you search the word nonce.
Holy God, there's like 2,000 entries, yeah.
Yeah, it brings up a lot.
It's like that Simpsons meme where it's the two monkeys on the boat fighting. And that's what this bowl is. What's what Media Week will be anyway.
Didn't they?
All of the pressure.
I think he said nobody likes you or something, didn't he?
Yeah, say group. Say like nobody in this group, or say search group or search chat.
Put nobody.
All of the pressure this bowl, and I mean 98% plus, all of the pressure in this bowl is on Houston.
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
Even if Niall gets beat 65-0, right? Which is not going to happen. Because John plays games like this close, and Niall has a competent offense that can score up to like 17. He's not going to get beat 61, 65-0 or whatever. But if he does, John gets a bowl, and yes, he'll relentlessly give off at Niall, but Niall's been to a bowl. Niall's won a title game and a division.
No,
don't hit me with that. Niall's like the 5th or 6th most decorated player of all time, then.
Yeah, but he's been here about 100 years.
True. And it does feel like the Frank Gore Award of
like the
having loads of rushing
the Arsene
yards.
Wenger Lifetime UEFA Award of being here forever.
He'll only be the 5th player to make a bowl.
Where are we?
Who?
Me, you, Matty, and John.
John and because it's John again. Yeah, he'll only be the 5th player to have made a bowl game. Even if he gets
What did you say?
destroyed,
Search group? Yeah.
search group or search chat. Even if he gets destroyed, he still accomplished a lot. Now that doesn't mean that you come out and roll over and lie down and well, at least I got a participation medal. But all the pressure is on John, all of it.
You know, if you had said to Niall on draft night, you're going to go to the bowl and you're going to play John, he'd have snapped your hand off, regardless of the result.
Disagree. If you
Whereas
told
if
him on
you'd said,
draft night that you're going to be in the bowl against John, he probably would have quit the league to avoid having to do it.
that's true, yeah. But if you said it to John and said, look, you're going to go to the bowl and you're going to play Niall and you're going to lose, he would be absolutely gutted.
You'd be found hanging from a light.
Yeah. By the way, the most points the Bears have scored this season was 37, I guess.
37 against who?
Oh, sorry, the Lions in the game that Herbert came in. Coincidence.
I'm going to refute that to defend out here and say maybe Herbert came in because he was up by so many points.
Herbert scored 2 touchdowns.
Is that the one where he put Herbert in? Herbert scored 2 touchdowns, but still looked like anytime Niall did anything good, it was like, wind up. Even if he wins MVP, I don't actually like him, so he's not going to play.
I'm trying to find this message
3
where
passes, 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
I will pay any amount of money, right, up to and including a fiver, to anybody. To anybody who can go back in the meet chat and find where Niall openly admitted to not liking John as a person.
I
gotta look for it now.
Remember Niall's rant from year 1?
Yes.
I still have that
Christ,
saved in
yeah.
my notes.
Can you please
I love
show
you,
me
Alan.
that?
Guys of the league, please go and find moments where John or Niall have flipped and talked shit about each other.
There should be plentiful supply.
You should be sending me a fucking Bible by Friday.
It's just going to be a list of the chat when they both write in.
I would love to have if you can find me where they call each other annoying and anytime John, well no, maybe not anytime John's used the word nonce because that'll be every time. But
I'm pretty sure I can find it because I said I like John shortly after. And I definitely haven't said that many times.
Yes, if Adam can find where Niall openly admitted to not liking John, the rant as well, I would love to make the debate a bit more spicy. And because let's be honest,
here's one here. From February. Why are they friends with you, Niall Ian? Because unlike you, we don't eat a bag of dicks every morning, noon and night. So I'm gonna get that saved. This is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I want to.
This shit writes itself.
Let's be honest. And this is probably what I'm going to start the debate with as well. There's no hatred. I don't think.
I see it.
Thank you.
Everyone bar you is likable in this league /chat.
Likeable. That was the word.
Send it over.
God, if only we could find somewhere that John shot back at him. Wait, hang on.
I'm probably going to start the debate with, let's be honest, you two don't like each other. I don't think it's a surprise. I'm not saying there's hatred there, it's CFM, but I think there's a strong dislike between the two of them. And it would be rude of me not
I love that
to
Adam
use
read
that.
underneath it's like, oh dang.
I think it would only be fair for us to discuss that. These are two coaches who genuinely don't get on.
We do need to, what do you call it though? We do need to hit the nail on the head with this because there is no other bowl that...
Oh, Adam, you beautiful bastard.
There's no other bowl that we can have, probably in the rest of the league history, that will have this.
Yeah, I don't think there's another toxic bowl.
Yeah. Which is sad, really. Need to drum up James Cameron a bit more. Need to stop him taking his Simpsons multivitamins till he starts biting at people.
I think we'll
There's
see a
just
different
so many
James
of these,
Cameron.
they're brilliant.
If you search
I think these are class.
a homophobic term beginning with the word F, there is a billion messages from John from year one. I mean, like millions of them.
Starting in F and ending in agate. That one?
That may be it
That might be the one.
definitely rhymes with maggot. Yeah, you will see messages, a fucking billion messages. It's all from John and then one from James Earls talking about John calling him it. It's great.
But anyway, gun to your head, what's the score? Final score in the game?
42 28-17. With the Bears taking a 3-0 lead and looking quite comfortable.
28-17?
17. Yeah, I think 31-24. I think it's going to be one score.
Ooh.
It's gonna be hard for
I
Niall
hope
to
it's
score.
Adams.
It's gonna
That
be
sounds
hard
much better.
for what do you call it? It's gonna be hard for Niall to score points just running dives.
What I will say
And
is
when
if
he
Niall
passes,
doesn't
just running
possess the
seams
ball
and
last,
digs.
he doesn't win.
Because John scores in that final possession.
Yeah, definitely.
Fair.
But John, do we think John scores in that final possession a necessity, or because he feels like it?
He wants to put 70.
Yeah, and he can score when he feels like it. I love how
don't
much screenshotting you're doing.
I know I've screenshotted like 14
This
things.
debate is going to be so good.
Is there a mute function in PS4 Party Chat? Because it's almost certainly going to be needed.
Oh no, it will very much be me saying, right, yeah, we're not going to Trump Biden this, where John just spends all night going, oh, fucking nonsense, across the room at him. Like, there will be very much,
That's what it's going to be, though.
John, shut the fuck up, this is Niall's chance to speak, and then John will get a chance to speak, and they'll both get equal opportunities to speak to each other, but I don't want them interrupting, because then it will turn from good points of shit throwing to just general, I fuck up, mate, yeah, fuck you.
Here's a
And
brilliant one from
that's-
the
no one
16th of
wants
September.
that for anybody.
When has Niall ever outplayed me? I'm going to screenshot that because that's going in if Niall beats him.
Tonight. Yes, they will both be told when to speak, and
Oh god, no, we can't let them talk over each other. Sorry, we can't let John talk over Niall.
because yeah, Niall will be respectful and let John speak. Then John will say his thing, forget about something. Niall will start speaking, and John will remember and just shout over him.
Yeah, no, Niall and John will both be given equal chance to speak without the other being a complete nonce. Without John being a complete nonce.
I'm really looking.
Come on,
forward
Adam, you're laughing, but you don't actually imagine that Niall's going to shout over John.
Are
at
we
any
doing
point.
an off season around the CFM
Well, we might need to because whoever loses this game is probably going to kill themselves, and we'll need to find somebody to fill in.
to recap the recap free agency and the draft? I would like to get the Super Bowl winner on as well. That'd be nice.
Yeah, well, you should get time to do that, because normally the preseason takes a week or two.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably just do it during pre-season actually.
I'm just really excited we're getting to do what do you call it. I'm planning on doing Hard Knocks with Nick next year as well.
Yes.
Is that the reveal?
Yeah, I mean, that is it. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm planning on doing it during the 4 preseason weeks with him, and then I'll probably run it through the first 2 or 3 regular season weeks because I want to keep it as like an early season thing that bleeds into the regular season, but also doesn't like impact
I
them.
would like to do all or nothing with somebody where we record the audio from their games with them and we talk to them. Anybody who was up for being talked to during their games all year.
Most people, I imagine, would be.
I would love
I
to do
could
that
do
with the
that,
team next year.
I don't mind that.
Who would you want to do all or nothing with? Right, so
Well, Adam's just volunteered and I'd love to do it with Adam.
I was going to say, yeah, Adam has missed a bowl for the first time in Yonks, so this
Yeah, I would love to
that-
do if
Adam
was
all
game
or
for it, that'd
nothing
be
because
great for
Adam
it.
needs to win a bowl next year or nothing. You know what I mean?
I think that
Like
would be
Niall and
amazing.
John are sucky candidates for it because they've both been to the bowl. Nick's on Hard Knocks. James Cameron's had a great season, and Zach's prime for a great season.
Yeah,
the
I would
only other
love-
person I think it's sort of relevant with would be Stoops and James Earls, because James Earls needs to win a playoff game. That's his all or nothing, and Stoops is still
but
trying to work out how to master
At
the
the
forward
same
pass.
time, it's going to give you a boring 16 weeks if James Earls doesn't win a playoff game but looks really good during the regular season.
Yeah, no, I'm sort of all in already. I'm
New
talking myself
Orleans
into Adam.
or Arizona.
No, because Stoops is trying to master offense still. Like he did
I
really
have
well in
2
year 1,
years
but then
left.
regressed.
I have 2 years left to win a bowl before Jordan Love asks for 75 million a year.
Which he's definitely not getting because I know you won't pay him.
Oh, I will. If I have the space, he's getting paid. He's a beast.
If you keep getting bust in the division in the title game with him, you won't pay him.
It wasn't his fault. He did all he could.
He did all he could from like weeks 11 or no, sorry, weeks 15 rather onwards.
Unless he was going to go on and punt the fucking thing, it wasn't really going to make a
He
difference. I think
hasn't
that
thrown
was-
a pick since week 4. Is that for a stat?
I voted for him for MVP. I know he's good.
I'll up a little bit. I didn't, but it was largely due to inactivity, nothing against his play.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
I
but-
didn't expect any votes.
The inactivity's a big thing, but for me, he played so well that you were mad not giving him one vote.
Although he will probably be on my sort of pre-season.
He was the best quarterback in the league outside of Barry B. Benson because he played 17 games.
On my pre-season looks for next year, I think that he's definitely
Uh,
an MVP.
So
front
next
runner.
season, there is going to be a new award or a player who made the leap. So like someone who is average but has a big year.
Oh, like breakout player of the year.
Yeah. So
I like
But
that.
but
no
breakout
one
sort of
who's-
just for rookies though. Yeah.
No, but like a rookie isn't eligible, and anyone who was nominated for an award this year isn't eligible.
Oh, so somebody who's come completely out of left field, like.
Yeah.
Can we
Oh,
call
I
it? Can we
love
please
that.
call it the Cody Latimer Award? I feel like that's so right.
No, is he not in prison now, though?
Award.
Yeah.
Did he not point a gun at
maybe.
a guy?
No, CFM. Cody Latimer didn't point a gun at anybody. There is no guns in CFM. Thank Christ.
Oh, yeah.
This week we get a lot more interesting. No,
This
it's got to be
week
the Cody
couldn't be
Latimer
any more
Award.
interesting.
Adam
This week
picking a
was great.
random guy with 2 hands off the street who goes to multiple Super Bowls.
I'm very excited now.
So that is one of the awards. I'm excited
sweet.
for tomorrow
Thanks,
night.
Dan.
The awards night.
Yeah,
Christ, me too. I might get
I'm
dressed
looking
up for it.
I'm looking
Are we
forward
doing it
to
in Zoom?
I am wearing I'm wearing a shirt and tie like.
Oh, I'm gonna go now.
it.
Yeah.
But I've literally got a job interview tomorrow, so I'm going to hang my shirt up when I get home. I'm going to wear it tomorrow night. Yes. I love you, Adam. This is great.
Formal wear for everybody except John, who probably won't even turn up. So let's
No.
not drive him away by making him wear a suit.
But I didn't vote, so he doesn't get to turn up.
Refused at the door.
From a Zoom call. That is just shooting from
Well, there is
the
a waiting room, so I can't refuse.
Just bump him into the waiting room. Brilliant.
with Niall.
With Niall, and then we record it. Fantastic.
Leave the two of them in there to see how long it takes till one of them starts eating the other one. That'll be great.
I can't wait to see Barkley win MVP and all of the other awards that we're not sure who's won what. Barkley is the most deserving MVP for me, and no offense, I know you're going to hit back with the Andy Dalton thing, but Barkley is the most deserving MVP for me since Leonard Fournette. Like it's in your face. It's like, wow, the guy has 4,500 rush yards and 70 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's just sad he didn't make 2,000 yards. That's the one
I
shame.
know, I know.
That was sad.
He got
The
more
two
yards than
games he
Fournette
got
though.
hurt.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Fournette had like 2,200. He fucking massive yards.
I'm going to look it up now because I am curious.
But of the 10 awards, there was one unanimous. I thought there would be 3, but there's only one.
Ooh.
And that's the teaser.
There's only one unanimous one.
One unanimous, yeah. It's 24 points for unanimous. One award got it. One got 23 and one got 20.
Ooh. I am very excited for awards night, actually.
So am I, because it's a Zoom call organised by Adam, so it's got to be cracking no matter who wins what.
True, as much as I'm enjoying the NFL this season, I kind of wish the NFL was over, because I have not enjoyed a single night of lockdown more than draft night. It was mad crack.
Joffrey was good, yeah.
No, Leonard Fournette had 2,300 yards. Christ,
Yeah, I
and
knew he had
33
massive
rushing
yards,
touchdowns.
Can I just
33.
point out, by the way, Adam, that when I won the MVP with Andy Dalton, I was berated by Ian.
Hang on, which
What
time?
for?
The second time
all
round?
you do the first time for all you do is pass the ball. You never hand it off. I'm looking at Tom Brady here, 5,000 yards. James White, 500.
I was literally MVP chasing that year.
500 rush yards. That's
I
oof.
beat Adam's QBR
Pretty
that
sure
year,
Mark
and I
Walton
never
had
did that.
Just over 500. So I actually had a better rusher than you did.
Oh,
no,
controversy.
I had 501. So I had more rush yards than you.
And significantly less pass yards.
And an MVP. Well, Andy Dalton did miss 4 games and still won the MVP. To be fair.
Can I just point out that Alan Robinson played for Matty Boyd's Jags team and got serious numbers as well? Is it just Niall that he didn't pan out for? Because he's doing well for
He
Nick
had
as
a
well.
1,000-yard season.
No, he didn't get the 1,000-yard season. The fucking running back at 2,300 yards. He had 800 yards and 9 scores. He only had 48 grabs.
Fuck me. I was going to say that's
Cody Latimer had 90.
I was
Cody
gonna-
Latimer led the league in
I
receiving
was about
yards
to say
and
that's what your
touchdowns.
tight end gets, but in this league sometimes your tight end gets a lot more than
Was that the year he broke the record?
No, it was the year he had 1,400 receiving yards.
33
and
rushing
24
touchdowns.
scores.
That is ridiculous.
I know.
24, yeah, that's the record.
Can I give you the top 2? What do you call it? Oh, sorry, I think in yards. Yeah, the receiving touchdown record he got. Can I give you the top 2 quarterbacks in the league in year 3? Drew Brees went 58
Yeah,
for
Brees.
19 and Brady went 54 for 15. We were destined to meet in the bowl. We led the league in passer rating as well. The pair
And
of
it was a
us.
really shit bowl too, wasn't it? If I remember. You,
Yes,
got
it's
out
like my
early.
least. It's my least favorite. It was crap. Gronk had like 2 catches and won the Pete Rozelle Trophy. It's terrible, terrible Super Bowl. I enjoyed the CPU one better actually.
Speaking of terrible Super Bowls, I can't wait for Sunday. It's gonna be so good. But yeah, I miss draft night. I miss every time.
Malcolm Butler had 10 picks.
Us all stopping to hear not Jake Fromm's name about 3 times. It was amazing.
Yes, and all the times the Patriots traded up for not Jake Fromm.
For Kyle Duggar. It was. Oh,
Kyle Duggar's been a beast, actually. He
has a good pick. But that was a great. I loved that draft. It was great crack. Yeah, I think we all good for. You all excited for draft night?
I'm super excited for draft night. I really am.
Not draft night for well, actually for draft night as well.
Well, yeah, no. I know you mean Super Bowl, but I'm excited for draft night.
Next week sometime.
Oh,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
Standard. I'm looking forward to both of them.
I'm not having any. We're not coaching the league now, so I don't want any say on when it is as such. Because
No,
I want to give guys time, but obviously guys like Zach and guys missed the postseason will be like,
working.
oh, we want to, what do you call it? We want to get playing.
I think pretty much everybody's thirsty for the draft. Like,
I wouldn't go for a week, but I would after the Super Bowl. You want to give 4 or 5 days at least to let those teams breathe.
Free agency,
it's not fair on.
You've got to get through free agency.
It's not fair on John and Niall to shoot straight into the next season.
Fuck yeah, John would even have picked his team.
This is fantastic.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the draft. Looking forward to free agency.
Right, let's do what we do on every around the CFL podcast. We need to finish this with wholesome content. John, I hope you win the bowl because you're one of the best Madden players I've ever played against. You totally deserve it. You did deserve to beat me the first time around. You played outstandingly, and you deserve to have a ring and be in that group. Niall, I hope you win the bowl because you have worked harder for it and longer for it than anybody else. You hadn't won a division title until this year. You've now won division title, NFC title. The cherry on the top of that is the Super Bowl. And I really can't be disappointed no matter who wins this.
My wholesome content is just James Cameron. Well done, mate. Unlucky.
Fair.
Really good year.
Sublime.
Really good year. Yeah.
I don't know. I think John on the balance of the last 3 years probably deserved it. But just loving on, and there's no better underdog story than this year's Bears. Starting 1-3, getting accidentally trading for Fletcher Cox, who's been their best player for the last half of the season.
If that doesn't sum them up, I don't know what does. We've accidentally acquired the best nose guard in the league.
Just saying if the trade would work.
It's just. It's sort of written in the stars that the Bears are going to come out with it, and I would love to see it. Going off your point there about the last 3 years, I don't think anybody has, done so well against yourself and me. Like when nobody, anybody else, like you hear Stoops talking about it this year when he played you and John. People around the league see John and you as losable games, it's like going to Anfield in the Premier League. Okay, we're going to lose this week, but we're not going to get too caught up about it. John has played you and me and Daniel and has never played us with any fear and is in every single game.
He didn't play me with any skill either.
No, you beat him by a point. He has been in every single...
I won him by a point? I shit him.
He has been in every single game that he's ever played against.
Because he missed the PAT and fell over in cover 2.
When he plays the three of us, he has been in every single game and there's no other player in the league that you can say that.
Yes, he does deserve a bowl.
Like we've said, I stuck 50 on Adam, and Adam also nearly made me retire because it was really bad. Like, do you want to play against someone on amateur difficulty? Oh no, I'm talking about the time that Jimmy Garoppolo ended up in tears and I had to console him.
Oh, I thought you meant the time I actually made you retire.
Not the time that I didn't care about playing you and then quit the league off the back of it.
Yeah, your last ever CFM.
Trade him out of the building because he's not allowed to work in Tom's.
No, I played the Bills the week after that. The Bills are my final ever CFM opponent.
Oh, of course.
Mine was Tennessee in a game I won by 82 points, and then it didn't save. And
that happened in that 1 week. I beat the Bills and felt no joy in beating them, and then Daniel thrashed somebody by like 100, and it didn't save, and we were both like, ugh.
Yeah. This has been a really good season.
2 months later, we finally left.
I've really enjoyed this season.
And then a week after that, John left, and then came back.
Prick.
You did.
I can't wait for the debate. That's gonna be great crack.
It will indeed.
But yeah, so we will be back tomorrow night for awards night. I take it we're putting awards night on Twitch or.
Oh, well, we put it somewhere, right?
Can I don't know if you can screen record.
I'm pretty sure you can record a Zoom.
Yeah.
God,
I will look into it.
Sweet.
I'm assuming we can all make it. Might be worth checking out in the meet chat. Actually,
I'm pretty sure everybody can. Well, everybody voted.
I think everyone voted for either
what time's the
times
kickoff
or
at?
11.
11? Okay.
Likely 10:30. But I mean,
Yeah, I would say we get the ceremony kicked off early, and then we'll
get
'cause
everybody in
you
at
can
half
sift
10,
through
then Niall's
the
coming at 11.
yeah. If you start at 10 and go through the thingy before Niall gets on, like the oh my god moment or the calm down moment, do a few of the jokey ones.
I was going to do the 2 CPU teams first.
Oh yes, nobody gives a
CPU
shit about the CPU
awards.
teams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do those first. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, they're good awards, but no one's gonna be like, oh, but I really wanted Jacksonville.
Something Niall has never said. Oh, I really wanted Jacksonville. But yeah, so yeah, really good episode. Thank you for coming on, Adam.
No problem.
Please
I'll
come
be
on
on
more
again,
often.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Hang on, is Niall listening and watching this? He's just messaging the meet chat. I thought he was watching it tomorrow.
I must watch it tonight.
Hello, Niall.
Getting a wee taster.
JK.
Wetting his whistle for tomorrow when he listens to the whole thing. That's amazing. But yes, I would love to have you on a lot more.
It's been a treat.
Just
What
to talk.
Niall's saying is, please retire.
Yes, retire and come and do just podcasts with us.
I couldn't watch someone play against that wasn't me.
Yeah, fair.
I just-
Actually,
And you know, if Adam retires, that's where John's going straight in
Yeah,
there.
John's 100%.
I'm gonna
going
win
to
more
Saints.
games than you did, but you're gonna go 16-0.
every year for 5 years.
No, he goes to the Saints and trades away Thomas, like 100%.
Then Niall picks him up and he continues to have 0 catches in PvP games.
Yeah, no, I couldn't watch the
lockdown.
team do that.
Niall's watched the last 10 minutes. You can't watch one of these podcasts and just see the wholesome content. You missed all the toxic shit that we put into the first hour.
We'll catch him up on Saturday, don't worry.
These would be so much better, actually, if you just watched the last 5 minutes. People would have their feelings hurt a lot less. Stoops is so bad with it that when we did the Stoops episode, he actually hasn't watched that episode yet, and he hasn't watched any podcast since, because he knows he wants to watch them in order, and he hasn't brought himself to watch his own.
So yes, we will be back for awards out tomorrow night, and then debate on Saturday, bowl on Sunday, and then we are in the off-season free agency draft prep, which I'm very excited about.
Oh, and Daniel can turn on to be Mel Kiper. Oh,
Is
brilliant.
it a fake draft this year, or is it real draft?
It's always real.
Real
We voted
draft.
for real draft, didn't we?
Yeah, but this is the last one, because the others are drafting like 14-year-olds.
Yeah, no, this is the last
There
one.
is another one by the same person who did the last 3
Ooh.
drafts. So there may be another
Sweet.
debate next year for it.
Amazing. But yeah, outstanding job. We'll get chatting to you tomorrow night. Thank you everybody who
No
listened.
worries.
Thanks for being on.
With the 2 most decorated coaches in the league.
Woo!
Woo-woo. And we will get chatting to you all at the weekend for the debate, which I am so excited
It's
for.
gonna have more. Literally, it's gonna have more views than the Sky Sports program, The Debate.
Yeah. Yes, it is going to be me, it is going to be Alan, Ian, and Francis Jeffers, and it is going to be great.
Paul Merson, obviously.
Yes, we'll get Mersh on. Well, I mean, we'll get Tom on. He's on fucking.
They're
Disney.
he's in the
They're all
DLA
off on a
anyway.
Saturday now. Yeah, we'll get Leticia on. But yes, thank you guys for listening, and take it easy.
Cheers, Adam. See you guys.
No worries.